This show is brought to you by Beco Dairy Automation. You have tuned in to the Agribusiness Dairyman News Hour magazine, your 1 hour all-dairy connection. We call it the Dairyman's source for new ideas, information, and technology, mixed with a double dose of current market conditions. The what, the why, and the how things influence the amount of money dairy producers receive for their daily milk deliveries. We offer this daily News Hour magazine as a catalyst to make long-term dairy producers sustainable. We invite every dairy producer in America to get their daily dose of what can be done and what they can do to achieve and maintain profitability on their farms. $22 for 36 months is our goal. We advocate there is a way forward. We invite dairy producers to come listen, to learn, and to participate. This is a no complaint zone. We talk solutions. So get out your pen and paper. Here is your host of the Agribusiness Dairyman News Hour magazine, Tom Van Nortwick, owner of Agribusiness Publications, publisher and editor of the Agribusiness Dairyman magazine.
Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining us on this Friday morning, March the 4th, 2016. We express our personal appreciation for the opportunity we have to be involved with the dairy industry here in California and throughout the country. In a small way, we hope we can provide a little better dissemination of information, getting people to think a little more about what can be done. We're in an interesting time today, this month, this week, and really for the last year, as the dairy industry is been racked a little bit by the reduction in consumption at a global level from China and Russia. And of course, the increase in production worldwide, not only from member countries of the European Union, but throughout the United States as well. Up until recently, almost every state was up, some level, 2 to 4%. That has diminished slightly domestically, but even Oceania, New Zealand, Australia have dropped and are projecting to drop more in their overall projection. But when you combine a demand reduction of about 50% of what was coming to us from global buyers of milk products out of America and other parts of the world, when you see that amount of decline and then production continuing to rise, then it creates the very difficult situation that we see being perpetuated on dairy producers around the country. We focus a great deal, as Stuart mentions in our opening, the double dose of the markets that you'll receive and information about the markets, what's going on, and why. We do the best we can to do a little bit of translation, and what we don't know, we try and go find out. We learn the most from dairy producers. Quite frankly, I do. There's certainly a lot of analysis going on. There's a lot of people reporting the facts as they see them, and or just reporting the facts. But unfortunately, very few people offering a solution to the problem that is facing dairy producers, or they are facing, which is producing milk at below their producing milk and then being paid for that milk at a price that is below their actual cost of production. And that's going on not only in the United States but around the world. But there are things that can be done, and we talked about that a lot yesterday. Our cover story today is going to be to kind of just push some buttons, and I don't want to be negative, but you know what, guys? There's been a lot of attrition in the dairy industry in the last 3 decades, and we're just going to cover those numbers as part of our cover story today. because I want to at some time in the future. It probably isn't going to happen right away, but we need to dispel the notion amongst producers that fewer producers is better for the industry, fewer producers is better for your pay price, fewer producers is better for our local, state, and national economy. It's just not so, and the dairy industry has been a vital part of all agriculture throughout the United States for many years, and that vibrancy needs to continue. It's an economic engine in other parts of the country and around the world, and every one of those dairies has a financial impact within their own little marketplace, and they buy constantly, are making purchases of feed and goods and services that help fuel an economy around them, and all the trickle down is some people don't like that word, but it works. It's true. 7 times economic benefit. So if a dairy's generating let's just say it's $1 million in revenue, and that's not that wouldn't take a big dairy to do $1 million, but 7 times economic benefit to all the other smaller companies and service providers around them. It's an important deal. So our cover story will be focused on those issues today. In the news, however, before we join Ron O'Brien in the markets, he'll take us through the buying and selling at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange today, of starting with blocks and barrel cheese, going to powder, and then finishing with butter. We'll join them in just a few minutes. Here's the morning news. The modest improvement at the latest GDP global dairy trade auction being attributed to a market blip. Oh, that's good. Feeling better about the market blip? 1.4%. We went over that pretty strong yesterday. Some people don't realize this, but the U.S. government has little to do with milk prices anymore. Well, I think that some people don't realize this, but the U.S. government has little to do with almost everything anymore if they can get away with it. But we won't talk about that today. They need to do what they do well and get out of everything else. And so if they're not setting the price of milk, I'm okay with that. But we advocate dairy producers should be setting the price of milk. OPEC setting the price of oil, in case you haven't noticed, the suppliers of the oil. National Milk Producer Federation president tells Senate panel about possibilities, pitfalls with past free trade agreements. So that trade agreement out there in the Pacific, it'll be interesting to see how that. Who would have thought? I saw a list of things yesterday about what the healthcare program, the Obama healthcare program, did to our taxes beginning January 1st, 2016. Whoa, it was all part of the bill. The tax increases that they perpetuated. You should see the list. Smallest butter output in January, percentage gain versus December since 1936. That'll be interesting to look into. Dean Foods declares increased quarterly dividend of 9 cents per share. Way to go, Dean Foods. But when your number one cost of production is in half, shouldn't be too hard to make a profit and pay dividends when milk is half price. Since 1997, Mexico has sold the U.S. $9.6 billion more farm and food goods than U.S. farmers and ranchers sold to Mexico. Okay. Good for them. The consumers of the United States want what they want, and they pay for what they need. Not surprising. Snack food company to release U.S. first mass Gorillas milk. I don't know if I want to read that one or not, but we'll look at it. Most Americans don't care whether their cheese actually comes from the place the cheese is named after. Munster, mozzarella. I don't know. I just would like it to be good. Don't put anything in it. Put milk in there. Just milk, please. That'd make a great commercial. Write that down. Just milk, please. Product diversification and innovation expected to be most prominent strategies for suppliers and manufacturers of cheese. Okay. New Zealand no longer has the international dairy market to itself. No kidding. Why? Because other countries are stepping up production and bringing in more milk at a lower price. You can't be the lowest priced milk producer in the global market. You can't. The producers can't afford it. I know the manufacturers and wholesalers think that's okie dokie. But I know dairy producers, especially U.S. dairy producers, can't afford to be the low-cost milk provider in the global marketplace. You can't do that. Asia, threat or opportunity. Australian dairy farmers must embrace change. Dutch dairy farmers, will have to reduce the size of their herds in order to meet EU phosphate limits. Interesting. EU fruit and vegetable scheme. The British call these things scheme. In the United States, you don't want to call something a scheme. But maybe coming from government, it's appropriate. But anyway, fruit and vegetable scheme for schools is to be merged with the school milk scheme. We got scheme and scheme there. One for fruit and one for milk. Not very encouraging. Honduras is an important trading partner for the dairy industry. And that industry is commending the U.S. government. Wow, somebody's getting paid. Companies collaborate to revive dairy industry in Jamaica. 1,255,600 first-time asylum seekers applied for. This is kind of off the subject, but here it is in my list of news and bits of information. 1,255,600 first-time asylum seekers applied for international protection during 2015 in the member states of the European Union. That's a lot of people. If 1% of them was not vetted properly, and that's an interesting word, vetted. I know what it means, I think, but it's just kind of a new word in our vocabulary. But if 1% of them, because we didn't vet them correctly, was a terrorist, that's a lot. That's 1,255 people. More than that, even. Could it be 12,556? I'll have to do the math. January 2016 highlights. We're coming up on time to meet up with Ron. Total cheese output, including cottage cheese, was 1 billion pounds, 2.6% above January 15, but 2.6 below December of 15. Italian type cheese, see, they want to put that in so that you won't think that we stored these inventories or made a lot, because we have a lot of cheap product. Italian type cheese production totaled 435 million pounds, 2.2% above January 2015, but 5.4% below December. American type cheese, what this means is they did throttle back in January from what they were doing in December. American type cheese production totaled 400 million pounds. Just 0.9% above January 2015 and 0.3% above December. Butter production was 176 million pounds, if you're all keeping track. That's 2.1% below January, but 1.6 above December. Dry milk powder comparisons with January 2015, 130. No, one is it? I can't see the dots. 136 million pounds. Could have been down 17.4%. Skim milk powder, 51.2 million pounds, up 17 point. So up, down, up, down. It doesn't matter, because guess what? We're all bottom feeding. The numbers really don't. Unfortunately, we're going to watch them, let you know what's going on. But guess what? We're bottom feeding. Yesterday in the markets, blocks and barrels cheese were up slightly. Blocks resting at 147, barrels at 144. Butter was also up yesterday, just a touch at 202, so $2.02. And then non-fat dry milk, spot call trading, 78 cents, unchanged. Okay, so that's where we're going to find our markets this morning. We're going to go see if we can successfully navigate the process of talking to Mr. Ron O'Brien. And we appreciate his help every single day. And he has for many years provided this service so that we would be better connected and learn from our experience.
Hello, I'm Eva Strang, Education Coordinator for the Allied Milk Producers. Cereal and milk have always been a mainstay for breakfast, at least since 1882. That's when the first commercially manufactured cereal was made by Henry Perky. It was called shredded wheat, and it's still with us today as one of the most popular cereals. Remember, breakfast is probably the most important meal of the day, and a good breakfast includes nutritious dairy foods like milk on cereal. A good way to start the day.
Is your milking equipment holding your dairy back? Are you still milking with 5/8-inch dairy equipment that became popular 35 years ago? Your dairy's production and milking goals have changed. Shouldn't your dairy equipment be able to meet the same goals? Beco Dairy Automation can help with industry-leading, innovative dairy equipment that eliminates all restrictions in the milk path of your milking parlor. Eliminating the restrictions in the milk path improves production, milking flow rates, parlor throughput, and ultimately better udder health for your cows. Beco Dairy Automation is your partner for success, delivering unrestricted, durable, and profitable milking equipment to today's commercial dairy. To learn more, call us today at 1-800-344-7166 or check out our website at www.becoKnows.com.
Yeah, non-fat futures down as much as 4 cents a pound yesterday, and then down over 3 cents a pound right now in the October contract. But, yeah, it's a bloodbath over there. We expect more product to probably come its way to the marketplace as well. Lots of product on offer throughout the country at lower levels. And then butter futures as much as 5 cents higher in April, 210.975. Which we were just under $2 a pound a couple days ago, and now we're over $2.10 a pound in the April contract. So pretty big volatility, and that's going out pretty far. 214.50 trading, 216 trading in August, 214.50 in September. 216 in September. So no offers. So it's a pretty tight market. At least it's short paper. Hold on 1 second.
This is the Agribusiness Dairyman News Hour magazine, your 1 hour all day. We are hearing the voice of Ron O'Brien, Senior Global Strategist for Interfoods, as he takes us through the blocks and barrel trades this morning. Thank you, Ron. Hang on. There'll be some starts and stops here, but that's the way the trading goes. There'll be narration or not, but just sit tight. You're connected.
Thank you very much.
Offered at 148. 44 even bid in the barrel by SIP. Steady bid in the barrel. 1, no offer. To the call. First call. Second call. 44 and a quarter bid on 1 in the barrel by SIP. Rub a quarter in the barrel. Posting. First call. Second call. Third. 44 and a half bid in the barrel by SIP. 47 quarter bid in the block by Nick. In the block of a half in the barrel. Posting. First call. Second call. 44.75 bid in the barrel by SIP. 147 and a half bid in the block by 10K. Still 48 even offer in the block by KBC. First call. Second call. Third. 45 even bid in the barrel by SIP. JMR sells that. 47.75 bid in the block by NJ. So 75 in the block right now. Barrels are up a penny. We got no mark on the barrel right now. Posting. First call. Second call. Big buys the block at 148 even to KBC. 148 even trade in the block. Rub a penny in both. 149 even offer in the block by KBC. 8 even bid on 1 by Nick in the block. 45 even bid in the barrel by SIP 1 time. Posting. First call. Second call. 148 and a quarter bid in the block by NK. SIP bids 145 and a quarter in the barrel. With a buck and a quarter in both. Posting. First call. Second call. 45 even. 45 and a half bid in the barrel by SIP. 148 and a half bid in the block by NK. 149 even offer in the block by KBC. Posting. First call. Second call. 45.75 bid in the barrel by KBC. By SIP. JMR sells that to SIP. 148.75 bid in the block by Nick. Still 49 even offer. No barrel market right now. 45.75 is last. Posting. First call. Second call. Nick buys the block at 149 even. KBC. 9 even bid in the block by the NK. 140. KBC sells 1 to Nick at 149 even. Offer another 149. 49 even offer in the block by KBC. Nick buys it. Line is 4 150 offer in the block by KBC. 49 even bid by Nick. No barrel market. We're up 2 in the block, up 175 in the barrel. No barrel market. 145.75 bid in the barrel by SIP. 49 even bid in the block by Nick. Posting. First call. Second call. 46 even bid in the barrel by SIP. 49 and a quarter bid in the block by Nick. Posting. First call. Second call. Third. 49 and a half bid in the block by Nick. Still 151 offer. Posting. First call. Second call. Third. 50-75 bid in the block by Nick. Still offered at 151 by KBC. Still 46 bid on 2 in the barrel. First call. Second call. Nick buys the block at 151. 151 bid by Nick. 152 offer in the block by KPC. 146 and a quarter bid on one barrel by. So we're up 4 in the block, up 2 and a quarter in the barrel right now. First call. Second call. Third. 51 and a quarter bid in the block by Nick. Posting. First call. Second call. Third. 51 and a half bid in the block by Nick. Chris sells the block at 151 and a half to Nick. 151 and a half straight block. 51 and a half bid in the block by Nick. Still 152 offer by KPC. Maria sells the block at 151 and a half to Nick. Volume is 10 all night. 146 and a half bid on one barrel by Sip. 51 and a half bid in the block by NK. Trev sells that. Kmart sells the barrel at 146 and a half to Sip. Minute till hard close here. 51 and a half bid in the block by Nick. KPC sells that. Minus 12 in the block. Still 52 offer. 51 and a half. 151 and a half bid in the block by Nick. So KPC sells that. 51 half bid again here. No calls right now. Hard close coming up. No bid right now. 152 offer in the block barrels. 175 bid on the block. 51.75 bid in the block by Nick. Trev sells that. 75 bid again here in the block by Nick. 52 offer. KPC cancel his offer at 52. 52 even bid in the block by Nick. We're close. We're close. We're close. Yeah, geez. People got some stuff to do today. All right, well, KPC saying that he sold him the 52 block, so it's going to probably be 52 even last year. Let me see. All right, so KPC is giving him the 52s. KPC tried to cancel his offer, and Nick had said buy it pretty much at the same time, so KPC made it good. So I think the last trade should be 52. Yeah, so we're going to sell the block at 152 even, up 5. 15 loads traded total. Barrel selling at
Okay, there's the blocks and barrels trades this morning. Market rising slightly, a lot of activity going on, and that's a benefit to everybody. Stay tuned. We'll have some announcements from our great sponsors, and then be back in just a moment.
Move over, Manny, Mo, and Jack. For quick, convenient auto service and no appointment needed, ask for G Express service from Gorpetti Automotive in Visalia. We'll guarantee an oil and filter change in as little as 39 minutes. And there's more. Need your tires rotated? A brake job? Even a 15,000-mile service? There's no appointment necessary, and we'll guarantee your service time. G Express. It's a new level of convenience you'll only find at Gorpetti Automotive.
Is your milking equipment holding your dairy back? Are you still milking with 5/8-inch dairy equipment that became popular 35 years ago? Your dairy's production and milking goals have changed. Shouldn't your dairy equipment be able to meet the same goals? Beco Dairy Automation can help with industry-leading, innovative dairy equipment that eliminates all restrictions in the milk path of your milking parlor. Eliminating the restrictions in the milk path improves production, milking flow rates, parlor throughput, and ultimately better udder health for your cows. Beco Dairy Automation is your partner for success, delivering unrestricted, durable, and profitable milking equipment to today's commercial dairy. To learn more, call us today at 1-800-344-7166 or check out our website at www.becoKnows.com.
Oh, he said it went cheap. Good morning and welcome back. This is the Agribusiness Dairyman News Hour magazine, your 1 hour all dairy connection. We have just listened to the dry powder trades taking place at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Our window of opportunity to listen in provided by Ron O'Brien, a senior global strategist at Interfoods, and we express our appreciation for that opportunity. A lot of activity today. You can see these guys are serious. This is real life. It happens, and the prices settled 3 cents down on dry powder today, and so not necessarily the best news we need, but there's activity and some loads sold. Well, I mentioned that article a little bit earlier this morning about the fact that U.S. government doesn't have much to do with setting prices of milk anymore, and I think that's exactly the way it should be. But the writer, this Norman St. Pierre, does a great job of kind of making it a little more fun as he breaks some news to you. He says this: I once was told that if your wife waits until you've eaten a well-prepared meal to tell you about a dented fender, that's managed news. Well, I hope that you just had a good meal because I'm about to tell you some managed news. The supply side, he says. Some people don't realize this, but the U.S. government has little to do with milk prices anymore. The current system is mostly based on the simple market economics of supply and demand. Oh, my goodness. On the supply side, a few important facts must be understood. First, supply is slow to adjust to changing prices. When milk prices drop, there is generally a significant lag before we see a reduction in the supply, or more correctly stated, a reduction in the rate of increase in the supply. Well said. Oh, absolutely. And we talk about that. No, we haven't seen a decline in milk production in California. We've seen a decline in the rate of growth of milk production in California. We're getting closer, though. 2% down per month. Get there. Because of the normal increase in population consumption, an increase of 1 to 1.5% in the U.S. milk supply is just about equal to the average increase in demand. The U.S. milk production increased by less than 1.5% in 2015. Thus, the issue of low milk prices is not due to runaway increases in domestic production. Okay? No, but it stayed that way. See, our argument is, and he makes an interesting point, okay? The issue of low milk prices is not due to runaway increases in domestic production. Well, that's fine that your increases didn't affect it any more than it did, but it still went up. See, if you had gone down, then we wouldn't still be in the price fix we're in. Okay? So don't think you're getting away with that like you did something good, because you didn't. Better than nothing, I'll grant you 1.5% up is better than nothing, but what should we have done? If it's all tied to supply and demand, demand falls, you want price to fall, it's going to fall if you don't change supply. Okay, St. Pierre says this. Second, the total dairy supply is not made up of just domestic production. We cover that a lot. The balance of imports and exports plays a role. Our imports of dairy products have been very flat and are far less than what we have been exporting. We cannot blame low milk prices on increased imports. Okay, I'm not going to debate that, but why would you import when we have what we need? We don't need to bring in more. But there you go. Our exports, however, have dropped from a high of 16 to 70%. Now that's 16 to 17% of national domestic production. Okay, total domestic production, 16 to 17% down to 12 to 13% of total national dairy solids production. This 3 to 4% difference represents a lot of milk, and we think it's higher than that. I think his numbers are soft there. I think it's closer to 8 or 9% of total. But anyway, we won't debate that. A lot of milk that piles up in the form of dairy products in warehouses. The latest news from the USDA was particularly bad in this regard. A pretty big pile, remember? And the sad part is in the staircase. Are we at 5 after already? Holy cow, these trades are going fast today. This is the butter trades at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
5 seconds till we open.
5 seconds to open, and we'll listen in until they're done.
We go. We're up. Steady bid on 1 by GTL 203, even bid on 1204, even bid on 1 by GTL. 204 even bid by GTL. We're up 2 on the day out of the gate. GTL bidding it up. No offers. That's south at 204 even. That's sells that 1. 203 even bid on 1 by KBC. 3.5 bid on 1 by Ash. 4 even bid on 1 by Protein. Heavy joins a bid at 4 even. 2 bid at 204. 4.25 bid on 1 by Heavy. 30 seconds till the call. 4.25 bid on 1 by Heavy. No offers. 4.5 bid on 1 by KBC. No offer. 5 even bid on 1 by Heavy. 2 all day. We're up 3 here. Turn to the call. First call. Second call. He sells one at 205 even to KPC. Market here. I missed 3. Posting. No market. First call. Second call. Third. 475 offer by Mish. Posting. First call. Second call. Third. 4.5 offer by Mish. 203 even bid on 1 by GTL. 4.5 offer by Mish. 4 even offer by Mish. Mish sells that at 203 even to GTL. 3 even bid on 1 by Heavy. 3 even bid on 1 by Frozy behind. 2 bid at 203 even. 3.25 bid on 1 by Ash. 3.5 bid on 1 by Heavy. Posting. First call. Second call. 375 bid on 1 by Heavy. 204 even bid on 1 by Frozy. 4 on 1 by Prozy. 4.25 bid on 1 by ABC. Posting. 4.5 bid on 1 by Heavy. Posting. Bid sells that at 204.5 to Heavy. 4.5 bid on 1 by Heavy. I'm just 5 so far all day. Posting. First call. Second call. Third. 475 bid on 1 by Heavy. 475 for 1 here. Posting. First call. Second call. 5 bid on 1 by KBC. Has sells at 205 even trade. 5 even bid on 1 by Heavy. 3 sells 1 at 205 even. Minus 6. Posting. First call. 3 even bid on 1 by Ash. Posting. First call. Second call. Third. 4.5 offer by Mish. 4 even bid on 1 by Heavy. 4 even bid, 4.5 offer. Posting. First call. Mish sells at 204 even to Heavy. 202 even bid on 1 by GTL. 4 even bid again here by Heavy. No offer. 204 even bid by Heavy. Posting. First call. Second call. Third. Close. All right, so we're going to settle right there. 204 even up 2. 8 loads traded total.
As dairy farmers watch profits slip away and a wonderful way of life painfully comes to an end for future generations, Dairy Pricing Association sees a brighter future simply by having a solution. These dairy pricing farmer members in 10 states and growing have figured out a way. Government handouts are not the answer. It's time for farmers to take matters in their own hands. Dairy Pricing Association is asking for farmers to contribute 10 cents per hundredweight to buy surplus dairy products to create a floor price, as well as helping relieve hunger in America. This is a win-win. As dairy farmers, we watch markets fluctuate as much as $4 per hundredweight in 1 month's time. 10 cents is nothing. Imagine being able to curb another 2009 scenario simply by controlling the floor price that you need as a dairy farmer to stay in business. With the dairy products that you as a dairy pricing member purchase, thousands of people are fed. No government assistance is needed. Rather, simply you as a dairy farmer are helping yourself by helping others. For more information, visit online dairypricing.org.
Are you restricting the profitability of your dairy herd? Beco Dairy Automation can help with industry-leading, innovative dairy equipment that eliminates all restrictions in the milk path of your milking parlor. Beco Dairy Automation is your partner for success, delivering unrestricted, durable, and profitable milking equipment to today's commercial dairy. To learn more, call us today at 1-800-344-7166. Check our website at becoknows.com.
All right, thank you. We've just concluded the butter trades at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and welcome back to the Agribusiness Dairyman News Hour magazine. A little bit of follow-up on this pricing of milk. The article by Norman St. Pierre does a great job in Farm and Dairy to help break the news again and again that the dairy industry more and more is being priced as a result of what's going on between supply and demand. Simple market economics, they call it, of supply and demand. So, apologize to kick Ron out there and make sure that we're still recording, and we are. Man, life is good. We're getting better at this, gang. At the end of January, the USDA estimated that the U.S. had 1.18 billion pounds of cheese in storage, a figure that is 12.8% greater than a year ago. To put this number in perspective, this is the greatest amount of cheese in storage that we have seen in the United States since 1985, 31 years ago. If I've got that right. Yeah, 31, 15. And 15 plus 1. There we go. When the government was giving away cheese in an attempt to reduce the amount in storage. In short, we have a mighty big pile of cheese in U.S. warehouses. Butter, which until recently was still highly priced from a historical standpoint, has seen its price going south. Based on the USDA report, we haven't seen the bottom of the downside yet. At the end of January, butter inventories were 41 million pounds greater than at the end of December. 41 million pounds, gang. Whoa, the January amount of butter in storage was nearly 32% greater than at the same time last year. The butter pile is also substantial. Hence, if I'm a buyer of dairy products and I see that the amount of cheese and butter in storage are high and increasing, then I will not be buying aggressively because I expect prices to drop or at least not to increase. Then I am not, it's just worded properly. To word it properly, then I'm not buying aggressively because I expect prices to drop or at least not to increase. Where is the milk from? Okay, the increase in U.S. milk production has been somewhat small over the last 12 months. Then where's all the new milk coming from? It would be tempting to blame Oceania, particularly New Zealand, a country that has contributed to much of the increase in world dairy supplies in the last decades. But New Zealand dairy producers receive no direct form of government support, have an insignificant domestic market, and end up receiving the lowest prices for dairy products traded on the world market. In fact, New Zealand dairy production is down this year. The dairy year in New Zealand starts in mid-calendar year because of the opposite seasons in the southern hemisphere, albeit not as much as what some people anticipated. A pretty significant event occurred April 1st, 2015. The quota system that had shackled European milk production since the late 1880s was finally abandoned. Predictably, European milk production has gone up. Just this last December, milk collection in 28 countries that formed the Eurozone was up 4.9% from 2014, totaling around 27.4 billion pounds of milk, compared to 17 to 18 billion pounds in an average month in the U.S. A 4.9% increase in one-month amounts to nearly 1.4 billion pounds of additional milk from a single month. Not all European countries have jumped on the dairy bandwagon, with much of the increase coming out of the Netherlands. Let's face it, they love cows. Ireland, what else do you do in a country where it rains 2 days out of 3? And more recently, Germany, to provide work for all the people that Volkswagen had to lay off. What's to come? I keep saying and writing that I cannot forecast milk prices any better than anybody else, but at least I am honest in declaring my incompetence. This being said, I see nothing in the fundamentals that would indicate a significant upswing in U.S. milk prices for the next 6 to 8 months. It's a good start. Okay, good start. So the managed dairy news for this month is that the dented fender is not about to be fixed. This should not improve your mood as you watch the next presidential debate and conclude with me that our country needs more soil conservation and not so much soiled conversation. Okay, so he's got a lot of things right here, and factually, there's no doubt about it. Except that, you know what's happened in the European Union, I believe, well, it's had to do with reduction in demand, possibly because they can't sell to Russia, so they're looking for every place else to dump milk and milk products. So they're selling kind of on our side of the globe more than they were, but their milk did not contribute to the increase in storage here in the United States. Okay, don't be confused by that. Any increase or any amount of milk above what is profitably paid for to a dairy producer by the markets is just too much milk. Okay, you just can't. There's no in between. It's either too much or it isn't. Well, it is. And the reason it's too much is because we're not selling it, so it's getting stored. We can't consume all of it. And that's why his numbers are a little off. We're down 8 points in global exports. 8% of national production is a much closer number, in my opinion, and based on the numbers that we've seen. That's a lot of excess milk. And so, and what dairy producers have done is they've grown. Okay, they didn't go down the 8%. They actually, like places like Wisconsin, Minnesota, and other places, they actually grew it by 4.5%. So they didn't go down any. They went up. Demand went down 4 to 8. If it only went down 4 and we're up 4, then we're off 8. And that's what's getting stored, is the 8% too much milk. Okay? And it could be 16. If we're down 8 global and up 4 production, and even if it's 1.5, then we're up 9.5. 9.5 is still a lot of storage. Okay? And that storage is impacting your price. Okay? And so that leads us to our cover story. Okay? And the cover story this morning is all about, okay, and if I better be able to get to it. I hope I didn't throw that away. Is all about what's going on in with our what's going on in the world, and especially here in the United States, relative to the total number of dairies that are still standing. And Hordes did a really great job, several articles. Okay, and I love getting these from Hordes. Hordes is the best dairy magazine. It's the Bible. There's some things about Hordes that I love, and there's some things about every magazine. I'm trying to think of my friends in Idaho. Why can't I think of the dairy magazine out of Come On? They do a great job. I mean, they really have done a great job. But anyway, here's what we know from Hordes, okay? And I'm going to start with my friends in Wisconsin, okay? Because you need to hear this, guys. Number of Wisconsin dairy farms dips below 10,000. The total number of, now this is, I don't see a date here. Dadgummit. But this is our friends at Hordes. Here we go. The total number of Wisconsin dairy farm operations has dropped below 10,000 for the first time in generations. Brad Legrade is executive director of Wisconsin Dairy Products Association. He said the decline in facilities is not that unusual. No, it isn't. We've been going down for years. The past 50 or 60 years, he said there's been an annual decline of about 3,000 farms. Guys, 3,000 dairy farms per year. Just through natural attrition, farmers retire, maybe merging with other farms. He said every year you see a drop that is occurring. Oh my gosh. Talk about a dumb PR move. It's just through natural attrition. 3,000 a year, natural attrition, 1,500 a year, because the newer numbers, it's about 1,500. When Legion took the helm back in 1990, there were about 34,000 farms in the state. Now there are 9,929. Great job there, Mr. Legrid. I think we should give him a raise. Despite fewer farms, most are larger with more cows, and milk production has increased. Back in 1990. Why do people even now they're writing like that? Like in 1990. In 1990 is what it should say. The average size herd was probably around 40 head. Now it's probably around 100 head. Well, what is it? Probably. Come on, guy. You're in charge of this thing. Probably around. Same guy that used like in a sentence, like in 1990. He said, was it 1990 or 1989, 1991? Or 1890, like 1990? Okay. I'm not in a good mood when I see stupid things like that. And there are many farms that have around 3, 4, 5, 6,000 cows. And there are many farms. How many farms that have, I'm surprised he didn't put like around, but he didn't, that have around 3, 4, 5, 6,000 cows? Well, how many have 1,000? How many have 3,000? It'd be nice to know. A record 27.7 billion pounds of milk was produced last year, with more than 1.27 million milking cows, a record high. And guess what, Wisconsin? Your dairy producers are getting paid below cost of production milk prices because there's too much milk. Too much milk, too much inventory. Okay, so what's that? So guess what? I think there's people leaving. Why? Not because of attrition. Well, they're older, but when you get to be 55, looking towards 75, and it's only 20 years away, you're going, how much longer can I do this? Number one, it's very hard work. It's hard work. Hours suck, normal compared to normal life. Okay, and you don't make any money. So why do it? Can you recommend it to your son? I don't think you can. So there's what's going on in Wisconsin. Decline in number of dairy farms. Yesterday's tractors. Okay, let's just see if this is the. Nah, that's not the one I was looking at earlier. Let's just see if they'll come up with it. Dairy facts from Hordes, University of Minnesota in 2009. By Hordes statistics. There was a 2014 report, and I had the darn thing up just now. And it was dairy farms declining in Kentucky. The dairy farms are declining everywhere. And Hordes had a great article that indicated that the number of dairies declining nationwide is about 1,500 a year. Okay, what the article also showed is that 2014, now this will be a shock to you, 2014 saw the smallest decline in dairy producers leaving the industry in a very long time. The smallest number, about 3.5%. Okay, so interesting. Now, why 2014? Well, the reason why is because 2014 was a pretty profitable time, revenue-wise, pay price-wise, to be in the dairy industry. Cost of production wasn't too bad, and the pay price of milk was at record levels. And so the point of our today's cover story was to say to dairy producers, look, there are lots of reasons why dairy producers go out of business, but over and over again, the number one reason is the economics of the game. It just is too hard to go this long and not make a profit. And consequently, all of that hurts everybody. And no one benefits, and no one is gaining from the fact that more producers are leaving the industry and fewer producers now in the 45,000 range. Because it showed in 1992, there was 80,000. See, that's why I wanted to see the numbers. we're talking about a lot of producers in the United States left the industry since 1992. And it's like that gentleman said, and of course, we still got the same people there in Wisconsin. He had 13,000 or some number, more than that. I should have taken more care to. But anyway, all is well, according to him. All is well. Let's make more milk. Well, visit our website, www.my-dairyman.com. You can go to the National Dairy Producers website, too. That's what I slipped up and said. I think their website, haven't been there, www.nationaldairyproducers.org. You go try it. Google it, if nothing else, because the best part about that whole website is the contract with producers. I hope it's still there. It's on our website. The second best place for you to go is to dairypricing.org, www.dairypricing.org, and there you'll see an agenda, a recommendation for dairy producers to follow, and it should be fully embraced nationwide. We're going to help see that happens. Why? Because it's the best thing we can do for our dairy producers, which is the most important thing we can do for our clients. You see, our clients are advertisers. Our advertisers want to sell products, goods, and services to dairy farmers. If dairy farmers are making more money, our vendors can sell more goods and services. They cannot sell goods and services to dairy producers who have left the industry. And the more that leave, the fewer things they sell. The less volume they sell. And it hasn't changed the numbers, guys. That's the big thing I want to say to you here at the close of this show. On Friday, March the 4th, 2016, is that fewer dairies is not the answer to your problems. Dairy producers taking full responsibility for their milk production at all times, up or down, is what will solve your problems. Working together, as recommended by a dairy producer. Work with your neighbor. All for one and one for all. That's the mentality, that's the synergy, and that's what will create achievement for all of us. It's cooperation, synergy, achievement. And there is a plan. There's a plan for you to embrace now. And we'll be doing our best to get this word out to you. Visit our website, my-dairyman.com. Listen to this radio show on a regular basis. Know that the solution is available, and we'll do our very best to make sure that you're aware of it and in detail what you can do about it. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back on Monday. It'll already be the 7th of March, 2016. Everyone have a safe Friday and weekend, and we'll see you again next Monday. Bye-bye.
Pico Dairy Automation is your partner for success, delivering unrestricted, durable, and profitable milking equipment to today's commercial dairy. To learn more, call us at 1-800-344-7166.
To learn or hear more, please join us for our daily News Hour magazine, your 1-hour all-dairy connection. It is broadcast live every morning at 8:30 a.m. Pacific and 11:30 a.m. Eastern. You can join the broadcast by calling 712-432-0900. Your conference PIN number is 666632#, or you can listen to the recorded call by dialing 712-432-0990. using your same PIN number for personal access. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. We truly believe you need to and can know more. Our job is to deliver more knowledge to dairy producers, believing that if knowledge is power, then applied knowledge is nuclear power. We'll see you on the call.